Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Ernie C, the Gap 2 Genius, and we are back for episode 169 of Keep Grinding, the podcast. This is What's in the Deck with my co-host,
Tony Donez, guys. How's it going?
We are carrying the podcast, bro. What do you mean how we're doing? We're the only thing we got right now. Oh, my God.
It's a scary world when we're the dependable ones.
We are the only dependable ones on this Keep Grinding network we have.
That's a weird world, dude,
No,
when
not
we're the dependable ones.
School came back in town. It's been hard for me to kind of do a solo pod. It's been hard for me to do the What's in the not What's in the Deck, doing the job podcast.
Doing the job.
But I'm glad you're here, and I'm taking your time out to do another podcast.
Absolutely.
Bro.
No, man, always a pleasure. Always fun to come do this. It's funny, I was telling Melissa, it's like my little escape for a little while, because shit gets hectic for us too. And so if I can get out for an hour, leave the house, be away from all the bullshit. Oh, it's bullshit, but all the real life stuff.
It is because
it's real life shit.
It's life throws us bullshit. It's like, damn, I don't want to deal with that right now, but I have to, and it's just part of the world.
Part
bro.
of the grind, dude. It's part of the grind.
I guess it would be wrong of me and to not state that I want to dedicate this podcast to my Theo Raymond, man. I don't know how much you listen to Tupac, but I really, it's been.
You could be surprised by family, man. You never know.
He
may have had Thug Life tatted on his chest.
You know what? I will tell you this. Let me tell you a quick story, fast, y'all. I had a 25th birthday here in this house before my wife made this to a home. This was a bachelor's pad, and I had everybody at work. It was a wild house, right? And I'll never forget. My Theo Rudy said, "I got a surprise for you." And my Theo Raymond lived in Arizona at the time. Mm-hmm. My Theo Raymond walked in, this motherfucker, surprised me.
Nice.
And this motherfucker bought me a 40 ounce of Mickey's.
Oh, shit.
And I was faded on my 25th birthday. It was a legendary moment. And, man, so I'll never forget that. Me and my brother were laughing at that because I was like, damn. And my Theos are a little bit older.
Yes.
So the kick was the 25-year-olds. And
right.
We were out here wilding at that time. And I'll never forget that. But really want to dedicate this pod. I felt... we were talking about this the other day. When everything's going on in the world, we feel bad posting things on social media.
Yep.
The last couple of days, I felt horrible just to post just my regular jobs, and I just wanted to say that because I feel like even today I feel like damn, life has to go on, and this is gonna be a constant in this album. We talk about death a lot and so many tears and life of an outlaw, and there's so many songs in this album that talks about death and moving on and reminiscing and remembering those who came before us. And I think it's a very, very appropriate thing to again dedicate this album to my uncle. And we talk about albums. D, what's in the deck today?
So today we got a classic, man. So first things first, when we first announced which one we were doing, I really thought, we said, okay, so the album is Tupac, Me Against the World.
Hell yeah.
Great album. My head went to All Eyes on Me. Mm-hmm. So I start telling this whole story about how I got All Eyes on Me, and we're not even doing that album. I brought up an ex-girlfriend for nothing and shit. Like, I just, but it is what it is, man. But yeah, Tupac, Me Against the World.
I always, and I was thinking about this the last couple of days I've been listening to this. Tupac, when he was alive, he had a trifecta. Honestly, there's four because I count Thug Life as album too.
Yes, sir.
But there was a trifecta with Pac. He went Me Against the World, All Eyes on Me, and Machiavelli. Whew. But, man, Me Against the World, if you could consider it underrated, it's a very, very underrated Bay Area album.
Yes.
And that's what's crazy about this album, man.
And just, to me, it's probably my second favorite Tupac album. And I like it more than All Eyes on Me.
Then what's your first one?
Machiavelli.
Oh, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. We can roll into all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Very short. We got to save that though, because I thought we were going to tantrum. I knew we were going to tantrum with that. I was doing some research, and I think I've known this forever, but this album, it was the first time that an artist has been locked up.
Yep.
And had the #1 album on Billboard.
Crazy. This
one was dropped on March 14th, 1995.
Shit. Junior in high school. Junior in high school.
This is right after he got shot at I should know
Baseline
this.
Studios.
Baseline Studios. This is right when he started this. I think Thug Life was you know what, man? I always say Thug Life was that Bay Area sound. You continue to hear that throughout this album. This is a very, very underground Bay Area sound.
And see what's funny to me? I get more of an East Coast vibe from this whole album.
Do you?
Yeah.
Actually, no, it wasn't Baseline. It was Quad Studios.
Quad Studios.
I just remembered
Quad
it right
Studios.
now. Quad.
Damn.
My damn leg. My quad. I remember the Quad Studios. I don't remember it, but I remember always reading about it. And I think this was like I said, he's locked up. This is for him. He had a number one album in the world locked up, number one single in the world locked up, and
Crazy.
And believe it or not, Tupac started a trend because this is something we hear regularly. We've heard Gucci Mane do it. We had so many rappers who have been incarcerated, and this started the trend, bro.
Just real quick, this was probably back when I was in high school. Do you remember a rapper named, he's still out there actually, X-Rated?
Yes.
Okay, X-Rated did full albums over the phone while he was locked up.
Wow.
So he would get on the payphone or the phone while he was locked up, rap, and they would record it through the phone, and they put out full albums that way, like multiple albums.
And what do they have in common? Bay Area, like
Bay Area,
man,
yeah.
dude.
It's a hustle up there, man.
100%.
It's a hustle. They always figure out a way in the Bay.
This is probably one of the albums that, in a weird way, when it comes to that trifecta, what people always talk about, they talk about the Hail Marys and Two of America's Most Wanted.
Right.
But no, dude, we got Me Against the World in this shit. Dear Mama, we have a lot of hits that are classics in hip hop, and one of the most common occurrences, believe it or not, and I know you would believe with the people, Easy Mo B is on this thing.
Dude, as soon as I was listening, I was all Easy Mo.
Easy Mo was all over this thing,
all
dude.
over it.
And
all over it. And that seems to be a theme in probably 3 of the albums we've done so far.
And it's scary because you know what? This guy is old. Tupac, this is 95. The man was only like 23 years old. He dropped this.
And it's funny because as I kept thinking about that as I was listening, and I'm like, you hear kind of a different side of Pac than what you originally think of when you think of Tupac.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure, man.
And I was like, damn, he was only 23. Like, he was still figuring himself out. So that wild Tupac that we knew, like, what, 25 years old? I'm like, damn, like, I was wild at 25, too. Like, I didn't know who the hell I was. So why did everybody expect him to know who he was?
And it's like that conversion, too, bro, in a weird way of, we hear Strictly for My Thug Life and that Me Against the World. There is, if you really listen, there is a intellectual Pac in those Tupacalypse Now, Strictly for My... That Thug Life and that Me Against the World Pac, it was so raw.
Right.
But damn, I can make a case that this album is probably his best album. I think we can make that case.
Yeah,
if
I wouldn't
we really
fight you.
Wanted to.
I wouldn't fight you.
Because Machiavelli was that angry Pac.
Yep.
All Eyes on Me was that desperate Pac.
Right.
And this Pac was just, I'm trying to make it.
Right.
It was,
right.
In my opinion, this is just
a different type of desperation.
And it's crazy, man.
That hustle.
It's just, and he didn't switch up the flow. He didn't switch up his image. He did it just his words, and you could just hear 4 different sounds in these 4 albums.
Right.
But I wanted to go with Me Against the World too, man. And you know, we have the intro track, which was kind of the overview of everything.
Right.
He gets shot. He goes to jail. He checks himself out of the hospital.
Yep.
What were your thoughts on the intro?
It's me and intros and stuff like that, but this one does lay the foundation for what the album's going to be about. Like, there's an overarching theme. If you listen to it, it's pretty clear. It's that mortality, that fear of death. Am I going to make it? How am I going to survive that whole thing? And that just lays it out. I got shot. I checked myself out, and now I'm going for mine.
Mm-hmm. Everything, and it's me. No one else is gonna do it but me.
Yep.
It is me against the world. And I'll never forget when I was a kid. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once.
Yep.
And we hear my guy Easy Mo B's produced beat.
Yes, sir.
If I Die Tonight.
Man.
And I'm not gonna rap today, man. I'm not gonna rap. I'm not in the mood to rap. But just the story he's telling on this one too. What an intro track.
To me, this song right here is the most lyrical we ever heard Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the whole song starts with full-on alliteration. If you read the lyrics, I'd say 75% of the words start with the letter P.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's just and he's in a pocket. This is the most lyrical. I immediately started thinking we never saw this Tupac again. Never again.
Never.
Like,
You're right.
All Eyes on Me, like you said, there was that desperation, but there's more anger. There's more, the subject matter was different. Like, it was all just, it was more like that raw passion where this was him flowing. And oh man, the best lyrical song that I think Tupac ever did.
And Easy Mo B, man, just blessed him with a great track. And I guess I gotta say it's a line verse. And again, we always say it.
Yeah.
3 verses.
3 verses.
Polish your pistols, prepare for battle, pass the pump. When I get to pop, just dropping when they done. Call the coroner, come collect the corpse. He got hit by a killer, preoccupied with being boss. Like this guy, I feel like he's it's growing in a weird way too, man, because he's getting to shine when he's against he's between a rock and a hard place.
Yep.
And I think that's some of the best work. We talk about this in life too. We always talk about when we're going through shit that we don't expect to go through, and we're going against all odds. And that's a common theory.
Yes.
That's a common theme in his music the next couple of years. But he was in a rock and a hard place, man. And
yeah, he was, you know, and if you watch the documentary, what was it, the one that was on Hulu, I think last year or the year before, and it talks about like his mindset prior to jail and his mindset after, and like, you know, seeing a lot of the things that he grew up saying, and he went so hard to avoid it and ended up doing the same shit, and I think it just really changed him once he got in there, and I think this album, you hear the change as the album goes on too. It's kind of crazy.
And I think he's really laying the foundation for All Eyes on Me in a weird way, because we hear about the world, the heaven got a ghetto for Thug,
right?
Like he's talking about the foundation of what would become his magnum opus. I feel like with All Eyes on Me, this is the prelude to it, man, and it's beautiful. Like If I Die Tonight, one of my favorite albums. I just remember that intro, man. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once. And I took that to heart. Like, yeah, we really gotta do that. It's great.
And then it's got the Betty Wright sample, the same that DJ Quick using tonight, which is cool. You know, a cool little ode to the West Coast. But to me, I know you said it had more of an underground kind of bass sound. To me, it was more classic boom bap. Like there was a lot of just shit that you could hear, you know, old school East Coast rappers rapping over, you know. So, and Easy Mo B would, you know, that dude can make any kind of beat because he's done it for everybody. But to me, it was more of an East Coast sound that I was rolling with.
So I'm just reading this on Genius, and we're not experts. We're just reading what we see. Easy Mo B was saying that he recorded a big batch of songs, Temptations and If I Die Tonight. He thought it was so genius that he put this on Me Against the World. And he recorded Straight Ballin' too. Decided, hey, I want to put that at Thug Life Volume 1, which makes so much sense now. This is a continuation of Thug Life.
Yep.
His solo stuff. You hear that sound. It's just a sound that you hear. Just the way it's recorded, I definitely could see why this is a continuation of Thug Life. One of my favorite hip-hop songs of all time, Me Against the World.
Yeah.
What a track. What were your thoughts on that?
Man, it's
because you were around at this time too. I think we need to go back to our template.
Right.
What do you remember about this album when it dropped, and what do you remember going around at this time to '95 when it dropped?
So it's funny because we, you know, I mean, it was early stages of the internet as far as like everybody having the internet. Like I didn't have the fucking internet when I was in junior high school. Like, you know, we didn't all have phones with it and shit. So like you got a lot of your information from magazines. You know, I was waiting on The Source and XXL every week or every month, and so you read these stories, but they were almost like these like mythical stories that you're hearing because you don't really know the truth. You're not getting inundated. You're not getting flooded with all this information on a daily basis. So you read, okay, Tupac's got a beef with so-and-so, and it's like, okay, well, you just kind of, at some point, almost make up your own stories. So you're creating this person in your head, and you hear these news articles about him. And, you know, we knew Tupac from, you know, Brenda's Got a Baby and I Get Around and all those songs, and it was cool, but this was like a different level of Tupac because, like I said before, it's like his progression in life. And now he's 23, and while he made all those songs, you know, Brenda's Got a Baby is such a song about like social commentary and stuff like that. And then you get to hear where it's more of like, he's still talking about some of that stuff, but it's more of like that, how it's affecting him personally. And you see that growth. So that was big, dude. And then I think a lot of people were expecting something different when this album came out. I don't think they were expecting that lyrical shit that he came with, but also it got darker. So it was a weird kind of dynamic with this album because nobody really knew what to expect. And it's funny to me, this is the only album in that lane.
And it's and I'm sure you felt this too. It's like this is at the peak of his career in a weird way because he's all over. I'm sure, and I'm not saying you had only 5 channels on TV, but
Right.
you was watching MTV.
Oh yeah.
Kurt Lawler?
Kurt Loder.
Kurt Loder telling you about, hey, Tupac just got shot.
Yep.
He's about,
Yep.
Tupac's doing the bid. He's at his all-time high, and not in the most positive way.
No, like.
But he has his new album coming out.
Yep.
And of course, they're always gonna kind of capitalize on the publicity because, good or bad, it's all good publicity in a weird way.
And he was, now that I think about it, is almost like to a much lesser degree, but he was like Kanye is now. Like you heard about his personal life and people judge based off that, but then you still had this music that everybody's like, okay, I'm gonna listen to this music, but he's kind of wilding.
Definitely. And one last question: did you ever think he was in? And this is when he was alive. This is kind of when this is during his run. Did you ever think he was gonna be as big as he is now?
With all eyes on me, yeah. All Eyes on Me was big when it came out. That was huge when it came out. Like there used to be, I think I said last time, there used to be midnight releases. Yeah, so you know how like movies, if it's a big blockbuster movie, they're going to release it at midnight the night before.
They still do it to this day.
They were doing that with All Eyes on Me. So he had built up this character though. Like he had become this bigger than life once he got with Death Row and once he started, the beefs and all that stuff, and it just made him this larger than life character. So yeah, he was big. He was big already. He was big. It was a short run, but he was big.
And that's he had like a Stone Cold Steve Austin run in a weird way. Austin was hot for 4 years. I feel like Pac was really hot from that even shorter, fucking 93 to 96.
Because even with Me Against the World, like it was a dope album and it was well known, but it was nothing compared to what All Eyes on Me was.
God, that's crazy.
I mean, it was nowhere near the hype. Like All Eyes on Me was one of those that everybody had it.
But this album's so damn good. And we go with All Eyes on Me, and this again. Let me see. This is produced. I'm almost sure it's. Oh shit, that's not produced by Moby. I'll tell you that much. But Me Against the World, man, it's a dialogue that kind of is laying the foundation for future. And I'm sure a lot of rappers don't even understand that this is what you guys live by now. This is low key like a hip hop Bible in a weird way.
Oh yeah.
Me Against the World is so. I'm losing my homies in a hurry. They relocating to the cemetery. Got me worried, stressing. My vision's blurry. The questions where I live, where no one in the world loves me. I'm headed for danger. Don't trust strangers. Put one in the chamber whenever I feel this anger.
What I got out of it too was that he's talking about all the issues in the world and all this negative shit, but the way he delivers, it never sounds like he's like despair. It's almost like he never sounds defeated. It's almost like I'm gonna conquer this, like because he was just such a strong personality. Like through all this shit, I never felt like it was him thinking, "Oh fuck, this is getting the best of me." It's always like, "Here's what I'm up against, but I'm gonna fuck it up."
Yeah, and it's that raw passion too. And that's what I think that's what made people like me kind of I love. Even when I wasn't around at this time, when I heard it when I was 10, 12 years old. 10 years after it dropped, I felt it even more like, man, this guy had passion.
And that's what it's always been. It's, when they talk about Tupac and Biggie, Biggie's the lyricist. Mm-hmm. Tupac can't hang with him lyrically, but Tupac, what he says and like the passion behind it and the feeling behind it, to me is, that makes up for any lack of, lyricism that people say he has.
He's essentially a poet.
Yes,
because poetry, good poetry makes you feel like you're a part of that poetry. You're a part of those. I forgot the technical term on these, the way that they rhyme. There's
meter.
There's not the meter, but what's the it starts with H. There's a certain way that they orchestrate these poems, and it's like you're a part of it, but it's like you feel it because it's like I'm going through it every day and.
Oh no, I ditched all my English classes.
Oh damn, dude! I know I'm horrible. I should know this, right? Because I'm not an English major.
I miss that shit. I miss that day.
But I do miss, Yaki Gaddafi, because Gaddafi comes with a great second verse, and the Outlaws at that time, now with history, right? 20 years, 30 years after, they always kind of shit on the Outlaws. Like they came with the whack verse. No, Gaddafi came with the memorable verse in this one.
It's funny because Dramacidal was kind of a combination of Thug Life and Outlaws. I was like, man, because you get Mopreme and you get Gaddafi, and I was like, oh shit, like I guess I always knew that, but never really thought about it. But yeah, it's just a combination of the two.
Dramacidal, people forget that this was a group at one time,
Yeah.
and they're all over me against the world. They kill it.
Yes.
All Eyes on Me, they're on All Eyes. They kill it. It's a beautiful thing. Eddie Amin, every day there's more death, and plus I'm dope, dullless. He comes with, and no matter what the man says now, that's a Biggie flow.
Oh yeah.
I felt like Eddie Amin is definitely a Biggie prototype in a weird way. But I think that they killed the Futures. I really loved it. There's a fourth verse on this with all the extra stress and the question. I wonder after death is after my last breath. And I just remember even the genius asking questions like that type of stuff. It's like
he was always dropping jewels.
Yeah, dude. He
always dropping jewels. Even when his music wasn't as, quote unquote intellectual or whatever, when it was more gangster shit, he was always dropping jewels. Like he just had a different outlook on life, and I think that's what made him so popular, with kind of that more thuggish, ruggish crowd was that, he was dropping jewels in a way that, like, you would hear it on the block. Mm-hmm. You'd hear it from one of the OGs on the block, like the way they would tell you. It wouldn't be some, they're not breaking it down real scientifically and shit. They're just telling you straight up how it is, but it's real shit.
Next song, man, one of my favorite Tupac songs, and I'm sure it's one of your favorites. Shed So Many Tears, dude. What a classic album, dude.
Love this song, man. This is the one.
I heard this, the last couple of days. It's kind of been relevant in my life. It's just like, man, dude, it's the beat's crazy.
Yep.
People, man, I think the production could be so overlooked now just because we're so many years into it. And according to this, Shock G produced this. Good Lord, man.
Shock G. Shout out Shock G.
And the way he delivers it back in elementary, I thrived on misery, left me alone. I grew up amongst a dying breed.
And that's why, this is kind of the first I remember personally of him like drawing out that last word of every bar back in the elementary.
Yeah.
And there was just like, there's still just like a feeling this song gives you. Like it's like he's talking right to you.
Until I got that thug lifetime on my test. Tell me, can you feel me? Remember Kato? That little, I always thought it was an ad lib. That little ad lib was always like, he made you feel it. It's like Biggie's the one, like I remember Kato, like he just said, like I can't explain why. It's just one of those things. I remember hearing this song and like remember Kato, because it's a continuation of Thug Life. When he did I forgot what song it was, but he does
Pour Out a Little Liquor.
Yeah, this is part 2 of that. Yep. No doubt, and I think Nate Dogg was on that one. Was Nate Dogg on Pour Out a Little Liquor?
I think so. He might
have been. I have to check that out, man. Don't quiz me on that. But
I hope there's not a test later.
Shock G on this, man, crazy.
The beat, there's such a dark vibe of the beat, and the drawn out drums and everything like that, and the vulnerability of what he's saying. And like I said, he's vulnerable without sounding weak. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which is such it's a dope thing, especially in hip hop, because vulnerability is always seen as a weakness in hip hop, but I don't think anybody's gonna call this shit weak.
Can you make a case that this verse 2 is probably one of the best verses in hip hop history?
Yeah.
I think now that I'm struggling in this business by any means, label me greedy and green, but seldom seen. And fuck the world, because I'm cursed. I'm having visions living here in the earth. God, can you feel me? Like, and you have to come up with more bars. I could go on, but that second fucking verse, you have to feel that in the pit of your stomach in some way.
Yeah. And this is like the best combination of that passion that he raps with and lyrics, and being very lyrical, because. I mean, me personally, like I wouldn't call him like a real lyricist when those last 2 albums. Mm-hmm. It was it was him rapping about shit and made you feel it, but it wasn't like super lyrical. Where this album, him spitting, like he's underrated in the pocket too.
No, he definitely
underrated.
But, and again, that just go forward in the podcast, but Can't See Me is, goddamn. He's in that pocket with in that Dre pockets. We talk about Dre a lot. That Dre pocket's no joke. He was, and the third verse of this song, man. Will I survive to the morning to see the sun? Please, Lord, forgive me for my sins, because here I come. Damn, 4 verses, dude.
Wow.
The man had 4 verses on this. There is no like.
I think every song's probably at least 4 minutes.
Yeah, and it's memorable because we always see this Tanqueray influence me get crazy delusion lately, and I really want Baby so I can see a part of me that wasn't always shady. Don't trust my lady. The way he was, and I kind of use that the way I try to mimic that flow because he used that little deeper voice a little bit, and the way he puts these bars, man, I've listened to his album a lot, but again, we always talk about how we're listening to it in a different view when we're breaking it down. It's like, damn, what a genius!
And it's funny because like I could hear this album today based on my mood, completely different if I'm in a different mood tomorrow.
Definitely, definitely.
Like, I'm hearing it right now as more of a like not happy, but more of a positive spin. Like he's taking like a positive approach to all this negative shit. Where I could hear it tomorrow, and if I'm in a bad mood, I'm like, this motherfucker want to die tonight.
No, you don't. No, I think you do, bro. I think you do.
So it just definitely depends on your mood, and that's what I love about music, man. Like your mood can change everything.
And it's like these first 4 songs. God, dude, how can we not talk about on What's in the Deck? Whew. Okay, with the next track, man, Temptations. Ooh, Moby on the beat.
Yep. Moby, man.
Drop that shit. Oh, my God. I love that the way he, and I love the hook, the intro. Yep. And, dude, I found out a couple days ago, Eric Sermon's on this shit. Oh, my God.
What?
Eric Sermon's on this.
I never even heard that part. What is he?
I don't know exactly what he Eric Eric Sermon, man. Like, whoa.
Interesting.
Maybe he does the hey. I don't know.
Interesting.
Tell me, baby, are you lonely? Don't want to rush. I can help you if you only let me touch you. What a love song in a weird way in the middle of this Doug life album.
And but it still fits because it's a love song, but it's still talking about the temptations in life and the negative that can come with love. You know what I mean? Not like a bad relationship, but the temptations that make it hard to be in a relationship. I want to say this, but it may have been I know there was a video for this, and it was Tupac was a bellhop in a hotel, and he's pushing the bellhop cart, and he's looking into the keyhole and looking at all the wild shit that's going on in different hotel rooms.
Let's see what we got here, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who else was in that video, but I remember some MTV shit, man. That was back in the days of MTV.
Let me see here. Damn, we'll find it.
Yeah.
The music video.
Pretty sure it was for Temptations. But
I don't see it here, sir. But it's okay.
Maybe I'm just making shit up. Maybe
I'm sure
maybe I was created some shit in my head.
Another. Let me see. Tupac, Me Against the World. But this was a great man. I remember this was on the Greatest Hits.
Yes.
This is what I remembered. Yeah. I remember this on the Greatest Hits, and I remember when I was a kid, like I don't really care for this. But once I got older, this is older, like 18, 19, 20, like, nah, man. Once I knew Easy Mo B did this, I was like, oh my God, man.
And it's more of that, kind of the side of Tupac we'll see down the road where it's, it's always been wild that he was the dude who did Dear Mama and he did Brenda's Got a Baby. And then, he'll do Temptations where he's just talking about like, yeah, if I'm in a relationship, it's going to be tough for me to resist all the temptations around me. So he was always such a complex dude, like, and I think the cool part about him was always that while he was complex, he was always being true to who he was, at least in the moment. Like he was definitely he lived in the moment, and what he was feeling was what you got. And the next day he might feel in a totally different way, and that's how he was going to be that day, and reflected in the music.
And Temptation. I always liked the hey. That was always kind of that's what always kind of, I guess, made me go towards the track.
I wonder if that's Eric Sermon.
Gravitated. Yeah, it might have been. I gravitated towards that. I never surgically really looked through it. It was just one of those songs on Greatest Hits, in my opinion. I had no idea when I was a kid it was on Me Against the World, but hey, shout out to him, man.
No, another good song, man.
Young man. Talk about an angry guy.
Yep.
This is one of those tracks where like, oh my God, dude. He was angry, dude.
Yep.
He was really telling me what he was going as a young man.
Right.
Going to this rap game. I felt like this was the epitome of what he was trying to capture as a young cat.
Right.
He wasn't a 35-year-old cat.
He was, and it's funny because I think he took on so much at a young age, like even just in hip hop. I'm not even talking about his regular life. He took on so much in hip hop that he always seemed so much older that people forget. He was a young dude, man. Yeah. I look at a 23-year-old right now when I'm 47. I'm like, dude, this guy don't know shit. You know what I mean? Like he's still figuring it out. And not in a bad way. Just I think we were all there at 23, but he was such a prominent figure and such a big personality that everybody just assumed he was older and had shit figured out. Man, he was so young. It's crazy.
And I think we see it now just with kids. Mm-hmm. We see it this weekend in Bakersfield. We've seen kids murk each other.
Yes, crazy.
What the fuck you guys think?
Crazy.
What do you think you're proving?
Crazy,
dude. Because if you want to do that, there's only one place. There's two places you end up, really.
Right. Yeah.
And we showed that this weekend.
Yep.
It sucks to see, but you're gonna go to jail. You're gonna die.
Yep.
And
or and if you stay in that shit, you're probably gonna end up doing both.
Yeah, man, 100%, man.
And I think that was, like we said earlier, he was speaking to the youth, mm-hmm. and he was telling them the dangers, and he was dropping those jewels, but it was all within like his angry flow. So it was just such a unique way for him that he just threw his ideas out there, and he was dropping lessons and he was dropping jewels, but all encased in like this angry fucking package. It's fucking dope.
And it's like, this Bay Area sound, bro. Mm-hmm. This is what it is, man. That underground Bay Area. And this is that, and you showed me this too back in the day, that early 40 Be Legit. Yep. Damn, that young Jacka, this Richie Rich seasoned veteran. And Richie Rich is on this, in the album at least eventually, right?
Yep.
This is all Bay Area shit. This is Marin City at its finest. Yep. This is right after Digital Underground when he moved to the West Coast. This is the epitome of that sound. And he's really telling these young cats, dude, you guys are so quick to be gangsters. And I just relate to what's going on this weekend because we've seen it. And it's so crazy with internet now.
Right.
We've seen these young kids kill each other, literally kill each other on the internet from Bakersfield. It's only down the street right here on Panorama, Why are we rushing to be this, to waste our lives away,
we can get into a whole nother podcast if you want of all the issues in society that lead to shit like that. And we see a lot of it, on a daily basis. You're at schools and, with the coaching and everything, we see people make bad decisions based on emotions and problems that they're not prepared to deal with. So, and that's kind of what he's saying, because he was that dude. He just happened to make it out.
Hey, man, he's the kind of G that everybody knows.
Yep.
It's like we all want to be. It's like it's so tempting to be that guy, to be the toughest motherfucker on the block, and it's.
I mean, how many times have you heard those little stories about the hardest dude in the hood was the one that everybody looked up to, and the dude who was doing the most dirt was the one everybody wanted to be, and generally, if they were in a bad neighborhood, because there's some money involved usually, but it is just I'm just kind of blown away still at how he was able to get all that shit into this little angry package, and he's dropping jewels. He's telling you about his own problems. He's telling you about the problems you don't want to have, telling you about all the shit that can go wrong and go right all in one song. It's crazy.
And what's going on in our town, at least, we could say the bridge saying, I'm telling you to be young, have your brains in every limb and all that. Yo, y'all don't know how good you really got it. Yep. Motherfuckers just need to calm down and peep what the fuck you want to do for the rest of your life before you end your life, before you begin your life.
Right. Man.
And we see that now, with two circumstances. And
see, to me, this is a different Tupac than we'll ever see again, because he was, and depending on whatever story you want to read and the reasons for it, he went from trying to get people to stop this life to kind of promoting the life and being more into the life. And, you can watch 100 documentaries that'll give you 100 different reasons as to why that happened. But, it's just crazy because it's more of a hip hop. This is more of a hip-hop that I appreciate now than I did at the time.
I was telling the guys in class today, because we were talking about it. We had subs, so we could talk about that stuff. I'm like, why do you guys want to be the hardest motherfucker in the world? You could be, in your guys' world, the hardest motherfucker in the world is doing what that fool did, going to jail. Fine, he's hard. But the hardest motherfucker in my world is being there for your family when something happens.
Yep. My dad working multiple jobs.
Take care of your wife. Yep. Saying, you know what? I said... And I'm not gonna go on. Yesterday, doing stuff for your family. Yep. Don't worry about. I got it.
Yep.
That's gangster shit to me. That's all you. I made it because I worked hard. Yep. When we're going through a trial and tribulation, no one got to worry about it. Yeah. We'll feed everybody. Who wants to come eat today? Whoever's gonna come visit my grandma, we got them fed. That to me is hard.
Yeah.
But we have two different. I'm 35. I'm 34. They're going on 35.
Exactly.
They're 15.
At 15, you probably didn't feel that way.
No,
you know,
100%.
We thought it was all that shit was cool, and
definitely.
And that's why I keep going back to how young he was, because he had that perspective, but he was still young and still kind of turned on by the wildlife.
Mm-hmm. And next song, man, where everybody wants to be having the game. Bay Area's finest. I love this track and hearing it again after a long, long time.
So here's where I started to hear a lot of similarities and hear where he was saying that Big bit his style. Mm-hmm. This right here, like it's kind of growing in the beginning, but right here, because I start thinking of Machine Gun Funk with that the Jamaican, the patois influence, and I'm like, wait.
Hey, this is I'm not to interrupt you, but this is the SOS band sample.
Is it really?
And I heard it because I play that shit every Tuesday. This is the SOS band sample. Right. I was like, damn, this is some funky stuff, bro. This is a G-funk beat.
Yeah, because I started thinking, I was like, okay, but there's that where Machine Gun Funk had that same kind of vibe. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, okay, Ready to Die, Me Against the World, they're both talking about the mortality. They're both talking about fear of dying, how, they think they're being watched and all that shit. And I'm like, maybe there was more to this, he stole my style than I really fucking gave into back in the day.
Let me see. Let's do some research.
I was gonna say, what was the...
what dropped first?
Yep, that was...
Let's see. Oh, shit. Ready to Die dropped first.
Did it?
Oh. Yeah, September 13th, 1994. This dropped 6 months later exactly, March 13th, 1995.
Interesting. I wonder about the recording, though.
That could be
because I know they were working in similar studios and obviously some of the same producers. And maybe it was Tupac who bit him. I don't know. I'd just say there's similar styles.
They're 100%. No,
similar styles
there's
for sure.
Definitely similar. It's that hungry young motherfucker, man. In my opinion, these guys, they were both hungry, and Pac is just way man. They busted tricks, don't want no mail. They spending their riches on scandalous bitches who stay petrified in jail. It's hell. Plus all the drug dealers want a meal ticket. God.
And it's because
who thinks of this stuff,
the crazy part to me is that you're hearing Bay Area underground shit, and I'm hearing straight East Coast through all this.
Maybe,
and it's just a different ear. We're hearing it from a different vibe and a different ear, but I'm hearing so much East Coast on this, and you're hearing Bay Area underground. So
shit,
dope,
bro.
That's dope, and that's like I always say, the beauty of music, man. It's all up to your own interpretation.
And then we see Mike, and I'm looking at Mike Mosley, dude.
That's straight up West Coast. That's the old school Bay Area,
yeah. And I learned this, man. Shout out to rest in peace, Jay Knox. I remember, man, like him telling me that he always wanted to E double. Mm-hmm. Give me that old bass sound, and it was always that sample with that ugly sound. It wasn't clear. It wasn't no Dr. Dre sonically sound beat. It was
crunchy.
It was crunchy. It was raw. Crunchy. It was that sample, but him with that dun, dun, dun. It was that to me. That was always the old Bay.
Yeah, the Bay was super heavy bass lines,
and it was kind of
a lot of funk.
Until E40 kind of got that what the hell is the report card? Once E40 did that report card stuff, I feel like it was more evolved and more clear, more hyphy. Yeah. But what kind of built my old barrier sound was that seasoned veteran shit, bro.
Yeah. Oh man,
that was super sampled and just sounded. But what's similar though? East Coast rappers like that too, because they're sample heavy.
Yep.
Just so maybe the bass lines are different, but. Richie Rich on this thing too, man.
Richie, man, such an underrated dude in the West Coast, man. He's like, oh damn, who would I even compare him to? Like, he's maybe like the Freddie Fox of the West Coast. Just that dude who was respected by everybody, not super well known, but if you're a rapper on the West Coast, you fuck with Richie Rich, and he's kind of got that. He's kind of got that, that aura of like. he's one of those dudes, and everybody respects and looks up to.
And who would have thought a fucking torn PCL would make that man relevant again? He became so fucking relevant. And that's what, dude, I swear, man, the seasoned veteran went up. You know, I'd rather be your, all that shit. I remember he was showing that on his Instagram. Everything, his streams were going up.
That's wild, dude.
And it's a crazy thing.
That's a funny video. If you've never seen it, Richie Rich blowing out his PCL and his ACL doing a backyard concert with La Russell, hits his ass and just keeps on rapping. Doesn't even miss a beat.
And that was like tore my knee last two, something like that.
Yeah, he's
crazy,
freestyling
bro.
and incorporates his blown out knee. Beautiful. That's veteran hip hop shit right there.
And dude didn't scour one bit. Nope. It was beautiful to see, man.
Had to be helped off the stage, but he never dropped the mic.
Pac on this, man, that third verse too, man, just it's nice to see that back and forth, and just it's like Pac is trying to keep him away from this, but it's like he gravitates towards it because that's just the way he was. Like, I had to make it. I had to go sell some crack, and I wasn't around. Crack wasn't big in my era, but I'm sure it was big in that 80s, 90s era. Like,
and I wasn't around it too much because I lived in a really small town.
Yeah,
so, but you know, you that was on the news every day. You know, the crack epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it's just another song where he's just coming and flowing and bringing that whole vibe to what he's trying to say. And it's kind of hard for me to explain, but it's, you know, you just kind of feel it when you listen to this album.
The next song we have on this thing, man, was kind of deep. It's not even, it's deep. When the first couple verses, I heard this the other day, man, I smoke a blunt to take the pain out. And if I wasn't high, I'd probably try to blow my brains out. I'm hopeless. They should have killed me as a baby. Now they got me trapped in a storm going crazy. Damn.
Such a tortured soul, man. When you hear,
what the fuck do you have to think about when you're like
tortured soul? And it's funny, if the documentary I was talking about, the one on Hulu, go look it up, guys.
Let me know, man.
Yeah, go look it up, guys. But it really dives into, like, you know, his mother, and because his mother was wild.
Yeah.
You know, she was Black Panther, but like not just like, oh, she was in the, like, she was, you know, plotting to blow up buildings, and she was constantly encouraging him, like, you got to toughen up. I mean, according to this documentary, at least. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he was a drama kid. You know what I mean? Like, he was in theater, and you know, kind of, and he had a mom who was a hardcore motherfucker who was like encouraging him, like, you got to toughen up. So he was like, he was already in that world at a young age where he was really into like the whole art and theater part of it, and his mom was like, come on, motherfucker, we gotta go blow up a building. Like, you know, that's a weird dynamic, you know. And they even talked to like his aunts and uncles who were like, you know, she kind of put him in situations where he had to figure out how to fucking do it just to please her. He had to figure that life out, which is kind of wild, man. But you know, it's an interesting documentary, guys. It's on Hulu. Look up Tupac.
That's the one. That's the Infinity. That's before she passed away too. When they dropped that.
Yes.
And it's you know, I feel like I'm a Tupac head, man. But but that was when I was a kid. As a grown man, I'm like, I can't relate to any of this shit. When I thought I could, like, no.
No, this one's good, man, because it takes a whole different approach to like just the wild Tupac that you always hear about and all these things. You know, most things talk about him like as a teenager, and they jump straight to Death Row Tupac, and they miss all that shit in the middle. Where I think that was the shit that really made him who he was, as far as, you know, that anger and that tortured soul that we were just talking about.
And I think people could relate to, because I was listening to his third verse. I don't think he went through everything he rapped about. It's a narrative of what's going on, because we hear that, you know, done lost too many niggas to the game banging, homies died in my arm with his brains hanging, fucked up. We hear Nipsey Hussle 20 years later talking Blue Laces 2 in that last verse, when he has to lie to his homie that, hey, we're gonna be. I'm gonna leave at the hospital. I'll give you all your shit when you're back. Right. It's like you have to lie to your friend that he's not dying. It's crazy how history can be repeated and words can be I guess, how can I say this, reiterated in a different way 20 years later. It's a narrative, but so many people, his audience is going through that every day. Yep. And
what I got out of this song, it's like, the first verse is him like talking about how he's trying to be better in life. He's trying to do the right thing. He's always looking for like a positive spin and looking for a way out. And then by the third verse, he's like, fuck it, this is the life I'm in. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's kind of like progressively got there. That's kind of the vibe I got from it, which is really cool.
And Now we're back with the next track, Dear Mama. Dude, we've been doing this will be the ninth once in the deck.
Already?
Yeah, the ninth one.
Damn.
Can we? And I know we went to 2001. We went through a lot of albums, but have they met this much in the first 9 songs? It's like we have a classics here, man. This is some deep shit.
Deep.
This is so deep.
Yeah, it's. And then I mean, I think I don't know. If there's much argument. Is this Tupac's most well-known song, Dear Mama?
This is probably the most well-known song. You have to know this, especially if from the area we come from and what we adapted to. It's like, yo, everybody. I danced to my mom to Dear Mama on my wedding. Yeah. Only the first verse, though. Second verse, I couldn't get past my dad. Oh, God, he would have been so pissed off. But, Dear Mama, man, just who would have thought,
just tugging at the heartstrings.
Especially from the demographic that we're around. You see young parents, and you see what these kids the product of these young parents with kids now that we're coaching in the east side of Bakersfield. They can relate to this, 17 years old having kids having kids, and one of the best hip hop song and that is one of the best songs of all time. It doesn't have to be a hip hop song.
And I always loved about this song. Normally everybody kind of paints their mom in this almost as a perfect person.
Yeah, 100%.
He was keeping it real. My mom did crack. My mom fucking kicked me out of the house. These are the things we went to, but she's still my mom, and I still love her. And we all go through shit with our moms. But at the end of the day, it's still mom. But this almost gave me it's okay to not paint mom in this perfect picture. It's okay to paint mom with her flaws. Her flaws make her who you are, or who she is, which made you who you are. And so, I just always loved the fact that it wasn't just your typical, my mom is great and she did everything great for me. It was my mom, we struggled.
Is a crack fiend, mama. You're always a black queen, mama.
I mean, wow. It's like I said, tugging at the heartstrings, man. And it's weird how, we always talk about sequencing in an album, and you can see how it's kind of gliding down to this more softer approach, and these next kind of 3 or 4 songs will all kind of have that vibe.
And it's like that first verse is really talking about how, his beginning as a youth, like, it's not easy for it's not easy for a woman to raise a man as a crack fiend. Like, I'm being addicted to anything in the world, trying to raise a kid. It's fucking hard, especially at a young age.
Yeah.
Like, you were 17. Like, imagine 25 years old, 26, trying to raise a kid when you're going through addiction cannot be easy. But that second verse too, man, like I hope you got the diamond necklace that I sent to you, because when I was low, you were there for me. You never left me alone because you cared for me. Like,
and it goes from the we struggled to I'm doing it now and I'm going to take care of you.
Rough comparison, like you said with Biggie. This is his Juicy.
Yeah.
In a weird way, this is his Juicy.
No, absolutely.
And this is a classic, man. 1000% classic. And
if you take the track listings from Ready to Die, and you can kind of pair up, like, okay, this is this one, this is this one. It's kind of crazy, And maybe they were similar minded. I don't know, who did what first, but it's definitely similar vibe on this album as Ready to Die.
And you can see why they were friends.
Yes,
they're competitive. It's all competitive. And I always relate to this. And again, this was my first dance with my mom. Why? Because through all the hard times, there's been so many hard times. I've been pissed at my mom, mad at my mom. But when something bad happens to me, bro, I call mom, like, yo, this is what's going on. Cry a little bit. And she'll tell me the best words she can, and I take it. I take it. Okay, she gives me a perspective that I can never. 'Cause I'm not a mother. I don't have a child. I'm not a father, and it's crazy, man. Like, Tupac was so ahead of his time, bro. And it's
and like I said, this was at a time when showing vulnerability in hip hop wasn't like a thing. Like, people didn't really do that, and if they did, they were seen as soft. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody ever really called Tupac soft when he was still doing these kind of albums or these kind of records.
And it's kind of like the LL Cool J thing too. Like, you have the backseat of my Jeep.
Right.
I need love.
Dude. Like, he was alone in his room staring at the wall.
This is that
back of his mind.
This is not that gangster love, but this is kind of like that rough.
No, this is real. This has nothing to do with gangster or nothing. This is just family. Yeah. We all go through shit, but we gotta, but there's still love.
And it's influence, but that's why as hip hop heads, we can see where the LL Cool J's come in and he influenced the style, man. Like, even the Biggie too. Biggie had some. softer stuff, but
yeah.
it was like, this is the way Tupac
Especially on
kind
the
of.
second album. Biggie's Softer Side came out on Life After Death.
We can't wait to talk about that one either,
Yeah,
man.
that'll be coming up one day.
Yeah, so Dear Mama is definitely one of those tracks that
Yeah, I mean that's just like hip hop royalty for songs. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. Even people who don't like hip hop know Dear Mama.
And I will say the next song, man, is probably one of my top 5 Tupac songs that I listen to at least once every 2 weeks to this day. Before this podcast became a thing, it ain't easy being me while I see the penitentiary or stay free.
My sleeper pick for the album.
Oh
it's
my
my
God,
sleeper
this is
pick.
what
I
I hate.
love the whole vibe of the song.
I take a shot of Hennessy and now I'm strong enough to face the madness. I felt like that all
Bag
week,
full
bro.
of
Like,
sex, weed laced with hash.
phone calls from the other side. Two childhood friends just died. I couldn't cry. A damn shame. When will we ever change? Like, what remains from a 12 gauge to the brain? Arguments with my boo is true. I spend more time with my niggas than I do with you. This whole first, we could say the whole first verse. This is the most perfect. This is probably Tupac at his best in a weird way. This is like the prelude to Shorty Wants to Be a Thug.
Yeah, it's like the melding of an older Tupac with the younger Tupac, and kind of the best encapsulation of everything he did. Whether it be like, because it's got a more up tempo beat,
Yeah.
but he's still talking his shit. He's got great flow. Yeah, it's fucking. I love
Fuck
this
the
song.
fame while we hustling to make a million. Lord knows ain't no love for this ghetto children. Oh my God, this is a classic. Please, if you guys listen to one song all week, this has to be it. Cause perfect flow, perfect beat, perfect message.
I was listening to it today while I was working, and I had it on, not in the back. I mean, I had it on the big speakers and shit. And all of a sudden, I just, out loud, drink a Tanqueray straight out the bottle. It's just when there's small, bars that hit you like that, and you just remember a time and place, 25 years ago. I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
I remember rolling. I had a little Honda Civic, and I didn't even have when we bought it, man. I didn't even have a radio in it, no CD player, no nothing. It was a blank right there, and so I had a boom box. I had a little boom box with a CD player. My boy Nick Hernandez used to ride in the passenger seat, man. He threw and this song always reminds me of that, man. This and Jizza remind me of that time.
Bill Clinton, can you recognize you represent doing 20 to life of San Quentin, getting calls from Mike Tyson. I'll never forget that show as a kid, man.
Do something righteous with your life.
That's why Mike Tyson was my favorite boxer,
Yeah.
dude. This is why. I'm gonna hold it down, holler thug life, and lick your shots till I see my niggas free on the block. Nah, it ain't easy. And the chorus, man, so simple, but damn.
Yeah, definitely my sleeper pick of this album.
Yeah.
It's not one of his more well known, but it's definitely one of
Which
those.
is crazy,
Yeah.
right? We're gonna put that as a theme, man.
There we go.
Yeah. He was angry towards the end too. I really like. He switched the tone up on towards the end, man.
But he does that on almost every song. Like he just, because that's his personality. He was like you said, a tortured soul, man. So he had good feelings, bad feelings, and it was all at the same time, man. So he just threw it on wax.
Did you like this next song, man? Can you get away?
Can you get away? That's the Dirty Mackin' song.
I hate that song.
You
man.
know,
I
mean,
always hate this song.
This was a time where, when you were making an album, they had to make complete albums, and there had to be a little bit of everything on the album, especially in hip hop, because it wasn't back then. It didn't sell. It wasn't like what it is now, where hip hop had to have something soft. They had to have something that might bring in the girls. They had to have something that might be able to, be played in front of your mom, or you know what I mean? Like it had to have everything, and you could hear that in this one. It's almost like they told him, we need something. We need a softer one. So he's like, all right, let's do this one.
Hold on,
Like I said, he was always Dirty Mackin'.
I never care for this song.
Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Never
not my
care
favorite.
for this song, bro.
I felt its place though, and especially for when I was, when I was growing up, that's kind of how all the albums were. Everybody had to have it.
Did you know this was a fucking song to Lisa Left Eye Lopez?
No, I did not.
It was widely speculated to be based on Tupac's love with Lisa Left Eye, who had an abusive relationship with Andre Rison. And
Was this before or after she burned down his house?
I think this is after.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
He had a type.
Just for a second time, we're going to old school.
Whew.
Man, I'll never forget Mr. Donez. I'm gonna call him Mr. Donez.
Oh, shit. That was
gave
old.
me this damn album And I heard about Melly Mel and LL Cool J because I learned about the old school and Grand Poobah. One, Mr. Magic Flash, Grandmaster Cass, LL Raising Hell, Eric B. and
Rakim.
This is the perfect old rappers. Listen to this. This is how you pay respect to your elders.
And here's what I noticed listening to it now. Everybody he shouts out is East Coast.
1,000%.
Everybody. He doesn't mention. I don't think he mentions one West Coast, old school. Nobody.
Queen Latifah, MC Light, Tretch, KRS.
And that grabbed me because we only think of Tupac and straight West Coast because of all the shit that went down. I get it. But when you listen to these albums, like there's a full-on East Coast influence that he never denied.
Never.
You know, well, he was born on the East Coast. So of course, that's kind of where he started. So it's crazy that he only gets put into this, you know, this West Coast peg, you know, into this West Coast bubble where he was so much more than that.
He was born in the West Coast. That's, you know, and we always have this conversation. Corrupt's not from the West Coast. Exhibit's not from the West Coast. Tupac's not from the West Coast. But they get that West Coast love like they were born in it, you know, and
in which they earned. Don't get me wrong, they earned 100%. It. But it was, you know, like the fact that he is just only associated with the West Coast when he always showed love to the East. It's kind of crazy. And then, you know, then it was what it was, and you know, and you get people like Suge involved, and it has to be a different sort of thing. But he never denied like that West Coast love, at least early.
I'll never forget. Remember when Pocket and Lock and the Curves blow the name bell and Scarlet Rock to the Sippy hole back in the Latin Quarter, and when Slick Rick was spitting Lottie Dottie. That was my first exposure to. I was getting just the mainstream stuff from you, but
and some of that stuff was old. Like I never had a Slick Rick CD, dude. I remember I got it on a cassette tape.
And one of the best outros ever, bro. And he just gave me up the prop. This outro is beautiful.
He's like, you remember the Italian Ices? That's where I learned what an Italian ice is. I was like, oh,
Cool J is hard as hell.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh my, yeah, dude.
No, I love this song, man, because I'm always big on knowing the history of the shit that you're into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have a lot of conversations. It's usually through group chats and shit like that with people who I don't like. You know, if I'm going to jump into a conversation, I'm going to know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah. I rarely will ever jump in a conversation and not know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Definitely.
And songs like this made it that way. So when I hear people talk about, you know, oh, this is hip hop and that's hip hop, and you don't know who these people are, and you've never heard Slick Rick, and you don't know shit about Eric B. and Rakim, like I can't take you serious. You know what I mean? You 100%. Have to know some shit before you can say some shit. And that's about everything in life. That's just a jewel in life, you guys. If you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, don't talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
but I'm on some lemon drops, so I can say that. This man can't. I'm on lemon drops. Shut the fuck up. That's okay, and it's okay to shut the fuck up. I learned that the last couple of days. It's okay to shut the fuck up. Dude, just let it ride.
So I'm usually quick to jump into a debate. I love a good debate. Usually turns into a good argument. Melissa tells me all the time, you know, it's okay to just shut up. And I've been doing that lately, and I'm a much happier person.
I was just talking to a family member. I'm like, hey man, let's let it ride.
Yep.
We gotta let shit ride, especially right now. Let it ride. What the fuck? We're so, and that's a bit. We're so emotional. Yep. We're saying shit because we're emotional, which is okay to be emotional the times we're in. When it's life and death, we're emotional. Yep. Let it ride because we're fucking mad right now. We're sad. We're mad. Yep. Not a good combination to make concrete decisions.
Nope.
Let it ride, baby. Let it ride. Speaking of let it ride, this man did not let it ride on Fuck the World.
No.
You know he recorded this after he got caught up in his stuff.
Yep,
dude.
And it's funny. That's why I put you. This is where you feel the energy change right
here.
You
100%.
This is where you start hearing the Tupac that everybody.
The building,
the building block of
what was happening the next
anger,
10 years.
And you can hear his
people,
voice, like even the tone of his voice has changed.
But a lot of rappers, and some I don't
fucking with the young black male trying to stack mail and stay away from the packed jails. I mean, judge them with danger. That's why I had that both one.
Life of Pablo is completely his whole style. It's funny because this is where Tupac starts talking about guns, and a lot more of that, whatever you want to call it.
Do a little bit. A lot of stuff mimic
Tupac and later music that you didn't really hear, and you don't really hear a lot of that on. Took it to another level, if you want to say that, but it was definitely influenced by this.
G all over it. Oh my gosh, Shock G killed the production.
You see the signs.
One of my favorite songs coming up was a young kid, man. When I was coming up, rough as when he called it. That's why I smoke blunts now and rum.
I
think it was just so different. I was like,
such a different vibe from the first 5-6 songs, which was magical, but it's hard. This stuff
the reason I like this
world.
album, but it's so disjointed for me, and it's just so all over the place that
Wayne 165 and these tricks to die. I'll never forget that.
To me, it's a great album to like have on in the background.
You have to,
but it's not an album I want to sit and listen to like what he's saying.
Throughout the song,
it's crazy. Officially,
you saved the best stuff for
he only has two albums.
That's
crazy. The Big Day, and he's supposed to have this Starline that's supposed to drop. But
and there's something to be said too about, especially in these older songs or albums. So I know we talked about it with acid rap. Like,
which one is it?
The verses didn't really flow into each other. It was just kind of almost freestyle shit where. Like he goes about like an alien. Relate to each other in one way or another. He's got all kinds. Even if it's telling a story and it's progressively getting
Busta's on there.
One mood to another. Like they all kind of old man brain all kind of interact with each other. So that makes a cohesive album. That makes it something that you're listening because you want to hear kind of where's this from. You get a lot of good albums. They're rhyming words, which is cool. I'm gonna have to put it in the comments, guys.
Yeah, let me know.
I love to hear people just spit and say creative shit. But 2 albums when they're telling a story, it's engaging.
Not that he has a dumb, like everywhere still.
The coloring book know what happens next.
Was different.
And this is, again, the title is Fuck the World for a reason. It's like you go from that Dear Mama, it ain't easy, and then,
one of my favorite albums, dude.
I got love for
go listen to it, guys. Especially if you just want to hear cool production, like the production.
You went through something, bro.
There's so much. I think this was a cool, laid back. This was definitely recorded post
Chicago.
Another Chicago album.
No, we've
got shot before. He got
staying steady in the Midwest, man.
If you want to indulge a little bit,
this is the album to do it to. It's so different.
He showed up to court in a wheelchair.
What a nutty motherfucker.
You know what? Before we go, there's 2 things we gotta announce. Not announce, but talk about. What was your favorite
beat? I'm not sure to realize that
favorite beat was
produced by a Latino.
Juice.
Yeah, that John's guy sample. I love the original. So to hear it flip, that was my favorite. Second would probably be favorite song.
I was gonna say favorite song, probably mine.
Unless you're really deep in hip hop.
That was great, dude.
Such an old school vibe to it.
It could be a
and it's funny because they both have very old soul samples.
There's a theme song to like a TV show.
Oh yeah,
dude. That's why I always. This is a Family Matters stuff.
This is the All Eyes on Me Machiavelli.
But yeah, man, that's the rapper.
So
great
raw,
to
it's good.
get knocked out, bro.
Yeah.
What's in the
track,
deck?
man?
Episode 168 on the
so
next
deep in this
episode.
album.
What's in the deck?
What's
next?
I did forget about.
We're gonna take to the West Coast
pretty
again.
much the last 3 songs
against the world.
I kind of forgot
shit.
about them. I was like,
That
I
was-
haven't heard these in a long time.
The world, baby.
You know what's funny is like when you
this one,
the first thing we've said it before.
my head was
When you mention an album, and I know
real talking
exactly
at the
where I was
beginning,
at. Like it
same
takes me
as
back. I
Biggie.
know exactly where I
why
was at
you
when that
hoes
came out.
calling
you
here
at?
for my
We'll
daddy?
go-
get
we'll
off
get
his
more
dick,
into
you
it.
like,
Yeah,
yes,
but-
he's got the little girl talking.
What do you remember
So,
about that one?
so
I'm
I remember
just-
it dropped at
whether it
midnight.
was intentional, stolen, whatever, there was so many similarities.
Blockbuster
I heard,
music.
I was like, man,
When
this is
Blockbuster
wild.
had a
Like,
music store.
You can see where
they
that
stayed open till
competition was bred.
midnight.
Got me stressing my pistols in my
I was in high
shoes,
school
ain't
still.
healthy, my paranoid
My
time,
high school
tripping out
girlfriend
the
went and
window,
stood
my
in line and
AK ready to
surprised
shoot.
me in private.
Ran out of endo and my mind can't
This
take
is when
I'm
you
stressing
still
out
this is
the
when Proc's
breath.
locked up.
You want to kill my
We
damn
could
self.
talk about Thug Life album. We could have put Thug Life in this slot too, because that's another. After
American
dude,
Meat.
after Pac got shot and locked up and all that shit, or before.
I never made the connection.
Man, he was
till
Thug
three,
Life.
4 years old.
If I Died in That's
Such
probably
a
one of my favorite
Latino
intros ever.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta talk about
Yeah.
that.
Trip off.
Yep.
There's my funeral songs on that album.
No, just respect.
Oh shit, we're gonna
can
talk
hear
about
Lil
that.
Bob.
man.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about
that and shit.
You
Talking about my eyes dying.
Oh man,
shit.
dude. That's what we'll have another. We'll have a dead rapper on there. We'll have Tupac next on the next. What's in the deck?
He always had that.
This
love.
is
You know, but that's
episode
just
168.
like
I am
most
DJ
West
EC3,
Tony Donez here, guys.
and that was in the deck.
California,
What
man.
that was? What's in the deck today?
Probably a good
and
chance
we
that
out.
you live next to a Mexican. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like
100%.
it doesn't matter where your neighborhood's at. Like, you know, you're interacting. And so, like, for him to always show love like that, you know, to somebody who grew up Mexican, who's a Mexican, I'm like, hell yeah, that's cool. That's dope.
You know, I remember I was a kid. And I still crack up to this day. I was raised in the city, shitty ever since I was an itty bitty kitty drinking liquor on my mama's titty. Like that was some hood shit. Cause she was drunk too, feeding me. Right. She was smoking weed was the everyday thing in my household and drinking liquor till you out cold. The pocket, right. God, how can you not relate to that, man? Oh my God!
And like I said, and that's kind of my overall arching view of the albums, that we never got this lyrical of a Tupac ever again.
Never again, man.
You know, and just as a rapper, as a lyricist, as putting words together, he made great music after this. Don't get me wrong, but we never got that rapping.
And I never watched the movie Capone with Robert De Niro until I heard the skit on this album.
Really?
I want him dead. I want to piss on his grave. I never heard it until this album when I was a young cat, man. That came out way before this. And, one of the songs I've always remembered too, man, is Outlaw.
Yeah. Not my favorite.
Dramacidal was crazy on this though, man. We have everybody on this shit.
Yeah. No, and that was what I wrote. The beginning of the Outlaws. You know, they weren't outlaws here. It's funny, they're listed as the outlaws. They weren't the outlaws. They were dramacidal.
Yeah,
they were dramacidal, and but it gave you that introduction of where you saw them on every album from here on out. 100%. And actually, one underrated album, I think it was a posthumous album. I'm pretty sure it was after Tupac died. It was Tupac and the Outlaws.
Still I Rise. Oh my God, I knew you were gonna say that.
Man, that album,
dude,
that whole album,
man,
banger.
Fucking hungry, bro. They were
all of them.
Get hungry, dog.
So I had read stories, and I'm sure it's true, and you've probably heard it too, that like the way he got them to compete against each other, he's like, all right, there's 3 verses on this album, on this song. Mm-hmm. Whoever writes the 3 best verses of what I'm putting on.
What we get to do first, shit. Yep. Come on, let's get save time.
And so then he's like, oh, his is better than yours, you're off,
Yep.
So it just, it bred this. Like I think of like basketball practice, king of the court, you just fucking.
Who got it?
Who got it? It's you guys are all competing against each other, and I'm only taking the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that really came out in their music. That was, like I said, not my favorite. And I think it was kind of a lazy beat. And I'm always big on a first song, and I always want the last song to be a banger, something I remember.
Especially back in the day.
Yeah, and this one just wasn't really. But this is also back in the days where people weren't listening. They had the full album, but they didn't always listen. So they threw all the good shit right at the top. I get it.
And this is, man, dude, it just the way it aged out, it was a beautiful album, man. I'm glad we talked about it. And
such a good album.
What was your favorite? What's your favorite song on this album?
Easy, man. So Many Tears.
So Many Tears.
I love So Many Tears. I love the beat. I love his flow. When it came on, I was tripping because I immediately, word for word, just rapped along with it. 100%. I knew it all. It's my favorite. Definitely my favorite.
I will definitely say my favorite's It Ain't Easy. That's I'll never forget that.
Nothing wrong with
that. You'll be surprised, and I know you're not surprised, but you'll be surprised how many of these songs to this day get us through the shit that we're going through today.
Absolutely.
It's like, fuck, man. Like, this motherfucker still gets me. Like, I'm going 35 years old. I'm 34 years old, still going through the life shit. It's like, yeah, I still get through it, man. It's like, like I said, like I told you, man, just some of the stuff, man, it's like, damn, so many tears is really relevant to my life right now, too. It's like, we still shed tears.
Always, man. Always. Like, and that's what's always made Tupac such a beloved person in hip-hop.
An icon in music.
An icon because he's talking about shit that, I should say everybody, let a lot of people relate to.
Mm-hmm.
That people, no matter where you come from, like, we all go through shit. Mm-hmm. And he was just throwing it out there. He always threw wore his heart on his sleeve. The old, like, you knew what he was going through because he flat out told you what he was going through.
And it's like, this was nominated for Best Album of the Year at the Grammys, Best Single, which we could see Best Album of the Best Album, Best Rap Album. It was, and they could, and I'm just reading this off Wikipedia. They say Tupac Lips, All Eyes on Me, Machiavelli, and Me Against the World. Those 4 you can, if we have to pick one Pac album, it's always going to be one of those 4.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's great. A lot of people kind of sleep. I don't know. Again, maybe we're just going through the whole social media is just a short attention span. Yep. This album is you could really discuss it as one of his best albums. Absolutely. And maybe his best album.
If somebody were to say that this was their favorite Tupac album, I wouldn't have zero qualms with that. I would have zero argument.
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. I'm glad we talked about it, man.
Me too, my friend. This was a good one, man. I wasn't expecting it. Like I said, when you first said Tupac, my head right away went to all I. First thing I thought was like, God damn, I'm gonna have to listen to like 42 songs.
Not a lot. It is a lot of features, but there's not a lot of features on this like the other albums around this time that came out. You know, Ready to Die only had one. This only has 1, 2, 3 really in the song. There's only 3. There wasn't a lot of. Everybody's a lot of solo Pac shit. What is the difference in All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli?
Yes.
Those things. Those albums had features almost in every song.
Yep.
I can name you probably. What's your phone number? Life goes on. Shorty wanna be a thug. Can't see me. Yeah. Everything else probably has a fucking a feature to it. You know, No More Pain. That one too. Right. So like, it's a different time and. I'm glad we talked about it.
You know what else? Very quick before we end, what I noticed about this, because I say it damn near, no skits.
No skits.
None. It's just and to me, that's why it flows better. Like, and that's just me. I've always said like people. I get why they put skits and stuff. I just don't like it because it breaks up. It breaks up the music.
The momentum.
I'm trying to hear the momentum, and that was a good thing for me.
And I will say too that the beats were okay, but the lyrics made the album.
Oh yeah.
Not many rappers could say they do that. The words, their lyrics are an instrument that made the album. Oh yeah. Because all these, and that's the kind of thing with Pac produced beats. All these beats on there, they're okay, but they're great because Pac's on them. Yeah. And no, I love it, man. I love it. Yep. And that is What's in the Deck number 9, episode 169.
I can't believe we've done 9 of these already.
Dude, this is the 9th one, bro. That's crazy, huh?
We're just cruising, too. It's ain't work, man.
I needed it, too, man. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
It's been a rough couple days. And
love to your family, man.
Thank you, man.
You know, losing people's never easy. I always say, man, like, when I go, I want people to remember the fun. Like, I don't want people to cry when I'm gone. Just remember the fun. And, you know, it's hard to say. It's hard to do in the moment. But eventually, man, you guys will all get together and you're going to share some stories and you're going to enjoy some shit and remember what he brought to you guys' lives.
Hey, man, you know, the last big wedding we had in our family was my cousin Tammy's wedding like five years ago, right? My uncle, I'll never forget, dude, this motherfucker went down like this and fucking did the fucking disco. I was like, fuck.
He did the Uma Thurman.
Dude, I'll never forget that motherfucker did that. I was like,
Pulp Fiction. Yes, sir.
But shut again, man. Not to get off track, but I'm off the limit drops. I'll never forget when he came on 25th. I'll never forget when he yelled at me. He yelled at me.
Hey, man, we've all yelled at you.
And I'll fucking never forget the disco fucking dance, bro. So rest in peace, my Theo Raymond. But
Theo Raymond.
Hey, man, next episode of What's in the Deck?
Yeah, what we got next?
When Life Gives You Lemons by Atmosphere.
Oh, shit. We're going to the underground.
We are definitely going all the way to the Midwest, Minnesota, baby. When Life Gives You Lemons, Atmosphere. And then we got one more of the original selection that I think we'll throw a couple suggestions in there.
Yes.
And then we'll pick them out of the box or some shit. We'll make it very, very fun. And
yeah, man, I love it.
169, keep grinding the podcast. DJ EC3.
Tony Donez, guys.
And we out.
Peace.